gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages. It's that time again, kids. What time is it? It's the Old Humble Day in the Lifetime. That's right. We're going live with a little bit more info on what's going on behind the scenes today. Today, of all days, I am texturing the wall, so I've got a distinct time limit on what I'm doing here. Dom's in the house. Cheers, Dom. And if the Lord be willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to get some texturing done on these walls. Let's switch over to me. Hi, you can see me. I'm wearing my painter's costume today. I don't want to get this stuff on my clothes, and I've been told that it is ridiculously filthy. So what are we working on today? Let's do the picture-in-picture. Can you see it? Yeah, we're going to be on that side. I've moved my bar over here. That's going to be the permanent location of the bar. But the goal is... Yep, camera's working, good. I'm going to start texturing this long wall over here on my left. It is on my left. It's on the left of the screen too. And the wall right here. And then, if time permits, I'm going to move the bar and flip the camera, and we're going to go to the other side. And then this little wall behind me will probably be off camera, and then I will go off to my afternoon gig of tutor. So let's get some shit done, shall we? Skip the word. No, let's go for the word.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
Get yours today indeed. All right, so the plan right now, simple plan. I have plaster mixed. I'm going to get this. It's not rolling the roller. Why isn't it rolling the roller? That's all right. I roll it on the wall. Nice thick coat up on the wall. I wanted to do this one first because this wall is not anchored on top. So it gets it out of the way. Then I don't have to mess with it anymore. And then I can go in and anchor this wall. But I'm using an 18-inch roller because really, whose life wouldn't be improved with a little 18 inches? A little addition of 18 inches in their world. This stuff is thick, but it doesn't roll very well. I mean, it rolls well. It's just thick. It doesn't go onto the roller very well. All right. I'm doing 6 feet here, almost all the way up to the top. And if I put this on, what I'm told is I go right behind it. I'm supposed to slather on a thick layer. Imperfections are fine, but it's got to be on it. A thick layer of this crap before it sets up. And yeah, it's flying all over the place. This is nasty. It is filthy. And then I'm going to go back over with the brushes that I've got and texture it in. Nice and neat. So nice thick layer of this crap all over the wall. I'm getting it. I'm getting the thickness down. Figuring it out. But yeah, it's everywhere. It's on the floor. I'm getting most of it on the wall. But I want a smooth coat to texture on. All right. Let's see here. I need to get my my ladder, which is over here. My step stool, rather. It's not a ladder. Proper terminology is important when you're a complete noob and doesn't know what he's doing. So I got a nice thick coating here, about 4 feet of the wall. Take my brushes here. Well, that's not really, doesn't seem like it's doing much. I'm not sure how much texture I'm actually getting from the brush versus the paint roller itself, to be quite honest. There's a few thin patches here. The biggest concern I have right now is this stuff turning to plaster while I'm working. I don't want that to happen. So this line is where the wainscoting is going to be. That's why I'm not going below it, because I don't have to. Because below it, below this line is just going to be wood and stuff. So I don't have to worry with it so much. All right, I see it. Okay. We're getting good texture. I'm seeing it. It looks nice. The areas over here that I went back over. Okay. I'm seeing it. And that's it. This, my friends, is how you texture a wall. It gives a little character, a little bit of depth. At least this is how I texture a wall. I don't know how you texture a wall. And then we'll come back over it and paint. In a little while. Not today. In probably about a week. And I do about 4 feet at a time. 4 to 8 feet at a time, give or take. But I need it to be thick enough to have depth so that the texture shows up. Thicker than what it would be if I were painting. But not as thick as a skim coat would require. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be painted over anyway, but it does have to be, it has to be covered, just not, perfect covered. So I think this is actually going to go pretty damn quick, quicker than it did when I was priming the wall, for that matter. Much quicker than it did when I was priming, and I may not need nearly as much plaster as I bought. But the plaster was only $10 a bag, and it made 5 whole gallons. So that was pretty cool. And looking at it, I may not have to do much. as far as texturing goes anyway. So I'm getting some pretty decent texture from the roller itself. But I do want to have that consistent brush coat, brush texture, because I think it looks good. Okay, one more pass down here. Pass across, smooth it out just a little bit. All right, now we're ready for another brushing. Let's go. This is going on really quick. I wish I'd have done this sooner now. Ugh. This is great. And I can even use the brush to kind of fill in a couple of spots where the plaster kind of beautiful. This is great. All right. I'm feeling good about this. This is going quick. Let me take a gander over here at chat so I can be a nice host. Who's here? The guy who sits in the boat. Yo, the guy who sits at the boat. Mr. Jiggs is in the house. One of our patrons, Mr. Jiggs, super fan. Oh, I should also talk about the giveaway. The one who sits in the boat, you, sir, have been entered into our giveaway for February. Congratulations. I haven't drawn the January winner yet, but I will. I always do. I'm going to put a little bit more up here because I didn't quite go as high as I want to. The trim's going to be up there at the top, but I'm going to go ahead and texture as high as I can. Sloppiness all over the floor like a freaking caveman. Anyway, so I'm making, oh, that's not great. That's bad, actually. I am making a cask strength rye for our giveaway bottles. The cask strength rye is about 120 proof. There we go. Will be about 120 proof. But I don't know exactly what the cask strength will be yet. But if it's higher than 120 when it comes out of the cask, I'll knock it down to 120. All right. Make sure we got a nice even coat here. One last run up the wall there. And everybody who gets into our chats is entered in to be in the drawing. Every time you get into a live chat, when I have a live show, you get into the chat, you get entered to win. And the way it works is I have a wheel of names, and your name goes on the wheel every time you join the show. You don't get entered onto the wheel multiple times in a single show unless you pay for a super chat or you're a member of the channel. So our super fans, like Mr. Jiggs, is entered for the entire year of entries that he's in, and he's in on every giveaway automatically. So he's in for 25 entries on the wheel, as is Mr. William Hall. Okay. time to give us some of these boys. Because Mr. William Hall and Mr. Jiggs are both super fans. And you, the one who sits in the boat, you have been entered one time for joining this channel, this chat. So thank you for your support. Thank you for joining in. And now next week, the goal next week is to have our color decided on. Have the color decided on that we're going to paint and then paint. That's the goal for next week, is to have the painting done. And then the wainscoting will come the week after. And then we'll put in the wainscoting, which is corrugated. Oh, you'll see when we put it in. I won't tell you. But the intention, as of today, is to have this finished by the early part of March, so that I can go on spring break and plan our grand opening festivities for all of April. That's the goal. Grand opening festivities throughout the month of April and most of March. And that includes the rye release, the release of our cast strength rye. It's the first ever cast strength that I've ever done. And I'm kind of excited about it because people are kind of excited about it. We're calling it Black Cat Ridge Rye Strength Whiskey of Cast Strength Rye. Named after the Black Cat Ridge area north of the river here, where Kingwood is now located, where all the brothels and saloons and bathhouses and whatnot moved to after the city fathers of Humble decided it was going to be a lily white God-fearing town, and all the roughnecks said, fine, screw you, and moved out of town. Or all the roughneck party houses, rather. And if I tighten this up, maybe it wouldn't unroll like that. Anyway, so that's the origins. That's the origins of Black Cat Ridge, and that's why we call our cast strength, the heavy stuff, Black Cat Ridge. Because when you had a real party in the Humble area, that's where you went. And the stuff they drank in Black Cat Ridge would have been much heavier than you would have gotten in town. Much higher in proof, probably made at in some cases at least, made at the saloon keeper's house. We're talking some pretty potent stuff most of the time. And truth be told, it probably would have been rye whiskey to begin with. Because bourbon was not the prevalent drink yet in the early 1800s, or the middle 1800s in Humble. Bourbon wouldn't become the prevalent drink until the late 1800s. And in the late 1800s and early 1900s, when Humble became a real oil town, they likely would have gotten their bourbon shipped up from Houston. Like a real cosmopolitan city. There we go. Beauty. All right, next step. Might get that side too before I move the bar. Next up, come on, before you turn to plaster on me. Now I'll have to go mix another batch momentarily. That doesn't take very long to mix a batch. It's getting a little soupy. Soupier than I want it to be. Means it's setting up. It's heavy though. Very heavy. I'm gonna have to rinse that out when I make the next batch. Oops, just splashed it all on the ground. And that's why I use drop cloths or work over bare concrete. All right, looking at good coverage here. Nice and easy. I've seen recommendations that this be a two-man job so that you can slap it on the wall and then somebody go behind you. The first person puts it on the wall, the second person textures it. But the only person I have available to me right now is sick, so this is a one-man job. And it doesn't have to be a two-person job. It obviously goes twice as fast when there's two people working, obviously. Because you can slap it on the wall. Oi! Then you go right behind. I mean, that would already be textured right now and I wouldn't have to stop, but I'm going to stop and texture. So yeah, I'll do the January drawing in a few days, probably. Do the January drawing in a few days, or maybe I'll do them all at once. But if you win January, you can't win February. So even though membership has its privileges, I'm not going to let my members take home all 3 bottles. They might take home 2 of them. And that's fine. The bottle will be a full pint, a 375, not a 5, or not a 750. So I'll throw some other stuff in the box too. A couple of shot glasses maybe. I mean, it's gonna be a nice prize pack. And the goal, the intention, is to raise a little money for the channel so I can upgrade my equipment, do a little bit better work than what I've been doing. How are we doing on video and audio? Did we freeze? Where'd I go? Am I off screen? Am I going to stream tomorrow? No. Not expecting yet. How old are you to be exact? How old am I to be exact? I am 48. Well, I'll be 48 this year. How old am I? Am I already 48? I am 47. Am I 48 or 47? I'm 48 right now. I'm going to be 49. Holy shit, I'm going to be 49 this year. Good God. All right, here we go. I'm going to be 49 this year. I started this distillery when I was 35. Holy shit. Nah, it could have been when I was 35. 37. We've been in business since 2012. So I would have been 30. Let's see here. 75, 25 plus 12. Yeah, 37. So there you go. And sorry, one who sits in the boat. I can't see chat until I walk over to my phone, so I'm trying to pay attention as best I can. But yeah, any money raised by the channel goes back to the channel. Except for whiskey sales. Whiskey sales obviously stay with the distillery, because that's the primary business model of the distillery. The distillery is not a YouTube station. The YouTube channel is a YouTube channel, and I try to keep those. While the YouTube channel promotes the distillery, I've got actually a couple of videos pending that I'm working on. Whiskey related content, as they say. All right. Okay, so over here above this doorway is a little patch of wall that I'm going to come to in a minute. Nice texture. Looks good. I mean, my age has been rumored all over my channel to be anywhere from 27, which is what I usually say, to late 50s to late 70s. And I kind of like the mystery. But also, I think I'll be able to finish this entire wall, which is one more bag of plaster stuff. Okay, we're going to turn you back over there. Turn back this way. All right, so I'm going to be on that wall, the one facing to the left. That's the back wall of my bathroom. This stuff is getting kind of soupy. It's looking like day-old pea soup right now. And if you don't know what day-old pea soup looks like, then you ain't lived, mister. I gotta be careful, because I don't want to fling it all the way over there, because my bar's still set up for the weekend, or from the weekend. I just didn't want to move all that stuff yet. This is about an 8-foot section of wall here. Try to stretch it over there as far as I can. But that's also one of the reasons why I tell people it's never really too late. I got my MBA. I finished my MBA when I was in my 30s. It's never too late to do this shit. It takes a tremendous amount of energy and a lot of money. More money than you thought. If you budget, whatever, 150 grand, it's going to be 300. And budget 200 grand, it's going to be 500. I mean, all this stuff takes, when you try to change a path, it takes energy and it takes money. And it's never fucking easy. And it's always a lot harder than you think. And it takes more time than you think and more energy than you think. I mean, shit, this tasting room was supposed to be finished 2 years ago. But I just didn't have the resources to finish it. So it's getting finished this month. Hopefully this month. The plan, at least, is to have it finished this month. February 2024. And then have our grand opening of the tasting room. Mini music festival and grand opening. I think it's going to be the week after the Texas Whiskey Fest is April 27th or 20th. So I think I'm going to do it the week after the Whiskey Fest so people can come out, so I can advertise it at the Whiskey Fest. All right. And now for the texture. Come on, last little bits before it dries. Come on, come on, come on, come on. People are like, am I too old? Am I, when do I know I'm ready? You're never fucking ready. That's the fact. You're never ready to have kids. You're never ready to start a business. You're never ready to start investing. You're never ready to retire. You're never ready to get married. You're never fucking ready. You're not ready to graduate. Well, sometimes you're ready to graduate. You're not ready. You're never ready. You're never good enough. You're never pretty enough. You're never smart enough. You're never tall enough. You're never any enough. But you should go the fuck out there and do it anyway, because nobody else is either. And nobody can do what you do. So just fucking do it. I mean, Jesus. I had a baby on the way. I decided to get my MBA. That was a terrible plan. The only people who are qualified to do a thing are the people doing a thing. And most of them are idiots. Now, one more splotch I need to put a little thing on it. But the good news is, if odds are, you're an idiot too. So, and that's not a derogatory notion, because I'm an idiot. People who know better, people who aren't stupid, don't do this shit. People who know better, stay out of it. All right, that's great. Now, that's great. It starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, and airplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Aha, yes, he knows music too. I'm not just a pretty face. I know pop culture. Well, pop culture from the 90s, at least. All right. That's going to get painted. I hate that seam. That tape pisses me off. But it looks good. We got texture everywhere. A little piece of fur there. It's drying already. Looking good. Looking good. No splotchy splotches. Looking good. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, I've got to rinse this stuff out, set up the next batch. So we're going to go to our Be Right Back page. Don't go anywhere. Go somewhere. I don't know. Music will be in the background. You can listen to the music. It'll be cool. Why does it? Oh, that tape line. The tape line pisses me. You can't see it from this angle, but it's like a little bubble all the way up the wall, and it won't lay flat. I may have to strip the plaster off, retape that panel. I don't know. We'll see. That's all. William Hall. There's William Hall in the party. Cheers, Mr. Our second patron, Mr. William Hall. Okay, so where we're at right now is all right, we're doing good. We're doing good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to this screen here, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I just got to clean up my tools real quick, move some stuff around. Give me maybe 10 minutes, just a little musical interlude. Because all this stuff is turning to plaster. I'll talk while I'm doing it over the music so you can hear what's going on back here. But I'm in the back room right now. I'm cleaning out a mixing bucket that I mixed all the plaster in. So I can make a fresh batch. This stuff is the consistency of a milkshake right about now. Which is great if you like milkshakes. Not so great if you like plaster on your walls. All right, now clean out the paint tray because this stuff is setting up. It takes between 45 and 90 minutes for this stuff to set up. And if I get to it before then and spray it down, rinse it out, then it'll set up somewhere else and I won't have to worry with it. But I can't just put plaster on top of plaster. I can't just pour a fresh batch in here. I have to rinse it out, dump it out, and start over. So they tell you not to make a batch that's larger than what you can use in an hour or however long. Which is also why this is usually a two-person job, because then you can have, I just did, let's see here, 6 plus 14 feet, plus 14 plus 14, no, 6 plus 8 plus 8. I did about 30 feet there. And I'm going to knock out the last bits momentarily. As soon as I get the roller cleaned off. And I don't have to clean much off the roller. I just have to knock off the big parts. But once I'm done with the wall behind the bar and the other wall of the bathroom, then it's just that little bit above the big door and a little 17-foot stretch wall. All right. Tools are ready for the next batch. There we go. All right, tools are ready to go. That's going to be good. Okay. I'm going to flip the camera back on and move the bar away from the wall. This looks good. I'm very satisfied with the texture. Very satisfied with the texture. Okay, what's going on in chat? Top Shelf Dustin has joined the party. Cheers, Dustin. All right, so the next phase is going to be right over here. This stretch of wall there behind the bar. Yeah, let's tip this down a little bit so that it's, oh, that's too far down. Up. Good. Yeah, that's about where we're going to be. Can you see the ceiling yet? Yeah, you can see just the tip. Okay. So, chairs move. Letting the stuff in the other room dry for a minute. Dry just a little bit. I don't know why. It doesn't need to. My left shoe is untied. Not that that is important, but by the time I leave today, my walls should be textured. And this stuff is absolutely as filthy and disgusting, messy as they said it would be. Oh my goodness. This stuff is so messy. I don't think I need to move the bar as much as I just need to cover it up to stop stuff from dripping on it. But I do need to move my display case over there. So, a little coverage there. And on the other side, a little coverage there. I don't want to move the bar because the bar is heavy as shit. I just want it to sit here and look pretty. But I also want it to continue to look pretty. So, hence, getting covered. This, however, absolutely needs to move because it's not that heavy. So we got Top Shelf Dustin, William Hall, Mr. Jiggs. Sorry. The one in the boat, the one who stays in the boat. All right. Over here. Whew. There we go. All right. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's great. It starts with an earthquake. I need to stop that shit. Okay. Someone's calling me. She'll have to wait. I'll call her later. One of my marketing pros is calling me. Okay. So if I did 1, 8, 14, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus 24. 14 plus 24 is 38. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that'll be 38. So if I do all of this and all of this, it's about the same amount that I just did over there. I could do a little bit further up on this wall. I'm going to need another batch of that shit. I'm going to need 2 more batches, or at least a batch and a half. That's okay though. I bought 4 bags. This is what I'm using. this is what I'm using to set everything up with. I'm using this stuff. They're not paying for an endorsement or anything. I'm using just sheetrock sand, this crap here. I look dumpy wearing this thing, but it's just sheetrock sand. Plaster in a bag. Use it, mix it up, slap it on the wall. Use it, mix it up, slap it on the wall. Slap the texture onto it when you're done, and then move on to the next section. That's it, that's it, that's it. So I'm gonna do this whole wall, mix up a fresh batch, and finish it off. I don't know if we're gonna stay, I'll do that last bit on camera. Let me see what time it is. It's 1 o'clock. It's gonna take me about an hour or so to do this. And then, I don't know, it takes about 45 minutes to do this section. So it should take, yeah, I should be done pretty quick. Okay. All right. Let me go mix this up real quick. Let me put you on our Be Right Back screen. I'll mix that up real quick. And then I need to move this. Hang on. Let's move this real quick. Move this chair. Yeah. Move this chair. Yeah. Move these out of the way here. And here. Move this out of the way. Here. Bring this down. I'm behind the camera, literally behind the scenes. I'm taking things down out of the window. So that I can just continue to go up the wall until I run out of plaster. And I'm going to move the table just a little ways back this way, further behind the scenes. Hello. Hello. This is the guy in the boat, the guy who sits in the boat, no. Texas whiskey, but good, unlike Garrison. That song, Guy in the Boat, is The End of the World as We Know It by They Might Be Giants? No. REM? No. Is it REM? Shit. They Might Be Giants? REM? No. They Might Be Giants is Istanbul, not Constantinople. End of the World. Of the World as We Know It is REM. Yeah, REM. End of the World as We Know It is REM. And it's kind of been did we have video? Did I lose the video? I think I lost the video feed. Shit. All right, let me see if I can fix that. All right. I think I lost the video feed. Give me just 1 second here. This happens. Getting rid of your textured walls. This is not at my house. This is actually at the physical distillery. If I change it, will it fix it? Come on. Nope, I'm gonna have to delete the actual item. Boop. All right, to unplug. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing a fundraiser for the channel, is because my equipment sucks. Capture device 2. And I need better cameras, I need a better computer, I need better everythings. That's the wrong camera. Come on, computer. There it is. All right. We are functioning. The camera's been moved, but we are functioning. It's a black screen because I had to reset the camera. Because I'm working on equipment that is about 25 years old, give or take. Fit to screen. Give or take. It's old enough to drink, that's for sure. My equipment is old enough to drink legally. All right. So I'll be working over the bar. That's the section I'll be working in now. It's time to get rock and rolling. It's not sad. It's just how you work. Hey, you work with what you work with. Most of my resources go to making delicious whiskey. The channel is separate from the distillery. The channel helps promote the distillery, but it is separate from the distillery. And ultimately, the goal is to work on, raise funds to make better video content. Video content. In fact, I have plans, quite specific plans, to make a feature-length movie called Whiskey Run. I have a script, or most of the script. I have a concept, treatment. I just need to get funding to bring in the producers who can help make it happen. And if I play my cards right, I'm not going to need much funding at all, because the talent is going to be mostly. All right, so right now I'm mixing. Oops. I'm trying to get this plaster to a consistency that is a little bit thicker than paint. So that it'll spread onto the walls. But we're working on a podcast with a local comedian named Jody Summers. We've done our first run through without recording anything. It'll be an hour-long show on YouTube and 2 30-minute episodes on the podcast platforms that we kick it out to on the RSS feeds. A little bit thick still. Back. Not quite. Just a couple more minutes. fact, I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. When did I buy my computer? I'm pretty sure I bought my computer in 2010, which would only make it about 14 years old. Not quite old enough to drink. Was it 2010 or 2012? Might have been 2012. Because I still had my Apple when I got my MBA. And this is the PC, so it's at least 10 years old. But, you know, it was a work laptop. It wasn't intended to be a streaming laptop. Almost there. It's the consistency of pudding. Before you put it in the refrigerator to firm up. Almost a custard. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Perfect. All right. It is time to return. Let me rinse off my paddle wheel here. All right, time to get back to work, boys. This is great. It starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, an aeroplane. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. That's when it gets into the fast movement, the fast words that I can't remember them all. I gotta read them as I. But just a couple of months ago, this whole place was. It's already beginning to dry. This is nice. Oh, so happy. Okay, let's turn the camera back on. Send in money to upgrade. Yes, please. Super chats get you entered to win more times for the special edition whiskeys and the giveaways that we do. That's how we do all of our giveaways. All right. This should be enough to get me a good ways down. I'll turn the camera when we get to the that part of the wall, obviously. Okay, and on we go. This is nice. Okay, this isn't as thick as the last batch, so this should actually go a little bit farther on the wall. It won't be quite so exhausting either. It might take a little bit longer for it to set up too, because it feels a little thinner than the last batch did. Yeah, let's see here. This way. Whiskey Run, the movie I'm working on. This is what I do in my spare time. The YouTube shit in my spare time. So the movie, the whole concept of the movie is I got to make a shipment of whiskey go from New York to LA, and I got less than 48 hours to do it because a whiskey shipment was sent to a party at the Waldorf Astoria. But we sent it to the wrong Waldorf Astoria. Waldorf Astoria. There's one in New York, there's one in LA. So I thought we had a week. the shipment goes to New York, and now that it's in New York, it needs to be in LA. LA. It needs to be in LA, and it needs to be in LA in 48 hours. So we need to get this shipment out of New York and into LA in 48 hours. And normally, it's not that big of a deal. Trip from New York to LA, do it by truck. Takes you about 40 hours if you just blast right through on the interstate highways, but it's never that simple. If it were that simple, it wouldn't be interesting. Where'd my things go? So we run into some hijinks. We have to take a detour in Chicago, follow Route 66 down through Amarillo. And then out the rest of the way to Los Angeles. Okay, this is maybe thinner than I wanted it to be. But this will do. This is fine. It's good. We got good texture. And my daytime streams, one in the boat, are usually fairly lightly attended. We get a few people on the daytime streams. The nighttime streams, when we're doing trivia, we're doing our proper happy hours on Wednesday nights, those get a few more people coming in on the party. Usually. But I haven't done one yet this year because I've been busy on Wednesday nights. And this Wednesday night is Valentine's Day. And unlike most people on the internet, I have kissed a girl and I have a wife. So I will not be doing a Valentine's night stream because I have plans on Valentine's Day, evening, night, whatever. I know, I'm cruel, aren't I? People haven't kissed a girl. They know who they are. Not my fault they haven't kissed a girl. I make whiskey to make it possible for socially awkward people to kiss girls. Social lubricant is what whiskey is. All right. Looking good. Looking good. One more pass down the wall, and I'll texture again. I kind of feel like I need to have like a mop to put this stuff up on the wall. Not so much a roller, but just like a sponge or something. You know what I mean? Because this stuff, I mean, it doesn't really have to roll, it just kind of slides. And that works out fine too, if it just slides. All right. I actually had somebody offering to help me tomorrow night, but because tomorrow night's Wednesday night, Valentine's night, I'm busy, so I'm not going to be able to do this. So I had to come in and do it today. Okay. Behind the bar, got to be a little bit careful. Got to be a little bit clean behind the bar. Stuff is flying all over the place back here. I got plaster on my bottles up here in front of the bar. Damn it. That's cool. That's fine. Whatever. Poop all on the ground. Nice. All right. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. One more pass and I should be good to go. I'm trying to get it mostly on the wall and not on the ground because I don't need to texture the ground. All right. That should do. Move this over here. Sorry. That's a truly awful noise. What's up in the chat? I do want to thank the folks who have supported us financially, like you, Dustin, William Hall, Mr. Jiggs, Jen, Easy Street Jen, rather. Bimbo Barbarella, I think, has sent funds. This isn't a particularly deep texture pattern. It wasn't intended to be a deep texture pattern. Just something to break up the monotony of a flat wall. And maybe help with the acoustics. Inside this place, so it doesn't sound like an echo chamber. It doesn't sound like a mausoleum in here. Hey, you're back. Cheers. So yeah, it's not a particularly deep texture pattern. It wasn't intended to be a deep texture pattern. Just enough to be just enough to be there, you know what I mean? That song is so stuck in my head. Because for a lot of reasons, the reason that song is stuck in my head, this is the end of the world as I know it. I've been trying to get this thing going, the tasting room concept going for several years now. And it's just, there's always been something. There's always been something preventing it from happening. Whether it's just money or time or another project that's had precedence that's needed to be taken care of. There's always something. You know, at one point it was just getting the rye made and out the door that prevented me from being able to do anything with a tasting room. Or, I mean, shit, COVID. That got in the way. Bigly. You know, being put in a position where we had to use literally all of our resources just to keep the doors open. Then we had a pipe bust in our house. That's always a fun thing. So instead of being able to have playtime here at the distillery to build a room inside the shop, you have to have playtime in your own house to replace floors and walls and all kinds of other shit. You know, it's always been something. And I am not 100% certain that I'm even on camera right now. But I'll move the camera in a second. Shoulder texture. Great. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Let's turn, you fine people, a little bit more. That should do about the right angle. Yeah, all right. So we're moving further. The cardinal direction is south. We're moving further south on the wall towards the front. That's the front. It's where my window is, where my open sign is. Where about a third of the, 2/3 of the people actually show up. I'm gonna have to take a scraper to the floor to get all this shit up off the floor when we're done. Not today. I'm gonna stain the floor. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. Stain it yet. I need to get all the paint on the walls, the wainscoting done, and then really decide what the floors are gonna look like. I had wanted to do a copper stain, a glossy top coat, but I don't know how that's going to look with stainless steel or galvanized steel wainscoting. All right. One more pass, and then the texture. One more pass, and then the texture. All right. But I actually have recorded rather, the first few scenes for the movie. And the idea is to present it as 8 to 10 minute webisodes. And then bring it all together as a feature length. So it'll be 140 minutes. I wonder if I could just, no. I mean, that'd be an idea. Just drop that in there. I mean, could I? No, that's terrible. That's a terrible idea. Whiskey man, what are you doing? How come you're crazy? Don't do that. It looks like shit, too. I mean, it kind of looks like shit. This looks better. Nice, even coats. Or relatively even coats. Okay. But yeah, the idea was to present it in like 15, 20-minute webisodes. Or 8 to 10-minute webisodes, rather. And then stitch them all together into one long movie. A full feature length, hour and a half, 90 minutes. Because I'm not crazy. I think one of the biggest failures of Hollywood today is cramming 90-minute stories into 2-hour movies. Or even worse, the greater sin of turning a single story into a trilogy. You don't have to have 3 movies of everything. Just tell your goddamn story. If you can't tell the story in 90 minutes, you're putting too damn much detail in it. Break it up. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Hunger Games, I'm looking at you. And that was 3 distinctly different stories. But they didn't have to break that last one into 2. That was dumb. I don't even know if they really needed all three movies to tell that story. Because it wasn't a very in-depth book. I mean, Jesus, Breakfast Club did the same thing in 90 minutes. Coming of age, youth finding their skills, blah, blah, blah. I guess that wasn't so much Hunger Games as it was Maze Runner, The Wave, what was that one where they had like the abilities and they got separated by their empath whatever skills? But I guess that's kind of all of them. Everybody gets a sorting house now. They didn't need a sorting house in the Breakfast Club. They just knew who they were. Jocks, nerds, outcasts, whatever. All right, time to texture. What's really cool is the brush gives, the roller brush rather, already gives a bit of texture to the wall. So this padding texture that I do is like in addition to what's already there. Whew. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is already beginning to dry too. I might put a little bit extra up there. In fact, I am. I'm going to put just a little bit extra up there. Right here and here. Ah. Drop it to the floor. Drop it to the floor. Whop, whop, whop. Now lean. All right. This looks fucking amazing. I could not be happier. And I gotta say, the texture was Lisa's idea. I picked the texture, but the actual act of texturing, she was like, you need to texture the walls. And I was like, do I? And she goes, yeah. All right. Are we good? All right. Yep, we're good. Okay, so that's the front window and the door over here on my right, or what will be on my right. I don't know why I didn't unplug this stuff and move it. Because I'm dumb. That's why. Because I'm dumb as hell. All right. My open sign. We're not open right now, but that's my sign. And I'm sticking to it. Makes no sense. Don't listen to me sometimes. Sometimes listen to me, sometimes don't. Ugh, sorry. Okay. I should be able to work over the door now, all the way around the room. Get these speakers out of the way. I haven't had lunch yet. If anybody wants to order me lunch and bring it to the shop, you are welcome to do so. I would be in your debt. Uber Eats delivers here. You don't even have to deliver it. You can just send Uber Eats to my door. DoorDash, Uber Eats. I'm cool with that. Just no Brussels sprouts. I will politely decline your delivery if it's Brussels sprouts. They're awful. Objectively awful. All right, hang on a second. I got to get a knife or something to try and fix this. It's making me mad. I'm looking at it, and it's mocking me. This will do. There's a patch of tape here. Let me check chat. Hey, cheers. The patch of tape that I'm going to try and glue down somehow using plaster. All right. Now I'm going to recover. And texture. All right, I'm going to have to do something about that later too, probably. All right, that's good. Onto the wall. Now, I expect the Wayne, I'm going to have trim pretty much all the way around this window, even down here where the line is for the wainscoting. I don't expect the wainscoting will stop and then start back up again. What I am planning to do is just extend the wainscoting and trim all the way up to the window. I'm going to have 42 inches of wainscoting. And I believe the window is 48 inches tall, or 48 inches off the ground. So I'm just going to add a little bit of trim to connect the window to the wainscoting. But I'm going to go ahead and texture just in case I change my mind about how I'm going to do it. I'm definitely going to have some kind of trim under the window. I just don't know what it's going to be yet or how it's going to exactly look. There we go, that'll do. Texture, texture, texture. Slap, slap, slap. Oi, oi. All right, so far so good. Looking good. Turn the camera just a little bit more. But we're gonna go full 360 to right about there. Did that work? Did I lose my video feed? No, we're good. Look at that. All right. So that is my entrance door. And to the right is the big door that goes to the actual distillation room. And I'm hoping I will not have to make another batch of plaster because I'm not going to need much to finish this thing off. Come on now. It's not going on nearly as smoothly. I guess we're getting close to setup to where it's setting up and becoming too goopy. All right. One more little splotch up there. I only really have one more big section of wall to go. To the other side of the door. And the rest is just above the door. So I think I might be, at least on the supplies, the materials. Looks good. Nice. All right. One last little section that I really need to worry with. And that's going to be this corner right here on the other side of the Jenga blocks. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. I feel fine. All right. Yeah, this stuff's getting thick. Thick! That's a thick boy. My brain works in memes. All right. Above the exit sign, beside the exit sign. Beautiful. Yeah, this is getting hard to handle down here. Too hard to handle, too cold to hold. They're called the Ghostbusters and they're in control. That is from Ghostbusters 2, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it from Ghostbusters 1? Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? You going to call the Ghostbusters? I'm going to call the Ghostbusters. Oh, anyway, so I have a video that I'm planning. I'm in the scripting phase right now of how to make a still from a homemade still. How to make a small still, a 5-gallon still. It's actually easier than you think. everything you need you can get from Home Depot, an Academy, or Dick's Sporting Goods. Academy doesn't exist anymore. I don't think Academy, does Academy exist still? All right, I need to get to actual texturing real quick before I run out of the ability to do so on the wall. All right, get up there. Act like you belong. All right, fuck off. Family-friendly fare here at the Old Humble Distilling Company. Kids are welcome. So are dogs, as long as they don't bite each other. If your kid needs to be on a leash, please keep them on a leash. A little bit more and I'll be done. Not even almost done. I'll be done. Done. All right. Now I just got to do this little section right up here. Ow, my foot. I don't even need to move the camera for it. Fabulous. Who's here? Still everybody. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right. Whoops. I'm going to knock over the Jenga tower. Oh, man, that'd be a mess. The Jenga fell into the plaster. Ugh. I want that one right there as well. A little bit more right across the top. Not that I should even worry about it because trim's going to go there, but I want to worry about it. All right. And that's it. That is officially the end of the world as I know it. The distillery is textured. There we go. Now, up here at the tippy tops of this area, where I put the extra plaster, smooth that out a little bit. And then right here, and we're done. 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 Ta-da! Finished. Et fini. All right. It's been a productive day. What time is it? Lunchtime yet? 1 o'clock? 2 o'clock. That took me about 45 minutes. Good deal. All right, let me do a quick inspection around the corners, around the walls. We got light texture. Everything looks nice and smooth and steady. Nice even texturing. Yep. Messes on the floor. Good. I'm satisfied. This looks good. Oh, got a little bit of work I need to do on this corner right here. Y'all can't see it, but I can. And you're never even going to know it was there. Actually, you know what? I don't need to do any fucking work on that corner because that's going to be covered up with trim. That's going to be covered up with trim. That's going to be covered up with trim. Beautiful. Firkin Birdiful. Firkin Birdiful. Firkin Birdiful. Firkin Birdiful. Birdiful. I am satisfied. Okay, guys, that's the day in life today. Because now I'm going to go home and do boring computer work. So, one part of the day in the life is actually building my shop. Another part of the day in the life is building the business itself. And that's the next thing that I'm going to go home and do is work on building the business where because I've got some website work to do. I've got website work that needs to get done. Watch corn. Dustin, you funny. Yeah, but I'm kidding. No, I've got website work that needs to get done where I've got some inventory work that needs to get done. The unglamorous work that happens behind the scenes, accounting and inventory and all that kind of shit. I got to plan my March schedule. I've got to plan for this grand opening for this particular tasting room space. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that's just, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that nobody knows about. Nope. The stuff you don't see that people usually do around 2 a.m. I am blessed to be able to do it at 2 in the afternoon today. So very happy with how the texturing turned out. Very, very pleased. I knew it could be a one-man job. I've just been putting it off, and now I feel like a dipshit for putting it off for so long. This took me 2 hours. 2 fucking hours to do all this. Now I feel dumb. I could have literally done this before the Super Bowl. I could have done it after church Sunday. I could have done it Saturday afternoon. I could have done it, after we closed up shop. Hell, I could have done it before we opened up shop because it's going to be dry. I could have done it Friday night. I could have done it Thursday night. I could have done it so many times over the course of the last week. But I got it done today. I don't guess there's any rush Still, still have to decide, get my samples in for the wainscoting. How long till I can start to hire people? Well, very exciting news on that front. I've hired my third salesperson. The first, look at my finger. Look at that. You see that? Like that's how my fingers usually are straight. This one, it's bent. Anyway, I've hired some salesmen off and on. Most of them haven't panned out. I've got one that's kind of stuck around. She works for cheap, which is good. She just wants some spare cash in her pocket, whatever. So she's like, $10 an hour is fine. You don't have to pay me much. I'm doing it because I like doing it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Great. I'll do that. My usual rate's 15 to 25, but I've got a guy who is as good a sales guy as me, which is the first time I've ever run into something like that. Finding somebody who's as good a sales guy as me, he can sell out a store, which is cool. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but that's huge. Most of these people, they'll sell 4 or 5 bottles and think they're doing great. He goes into a store, he sells 3 or 4 cases, the same way I do. So I'm super duper excited about him. He's going to make it possible for me to do more stuff in the shop and less stuff in the field. Because if he can be out there doing what I do, then we're going to be able to start hitting sales numbers, breaking sales numbers, because I can only be in so many places at once. So, his going rate is like $37 when he charges Diageo and these other places to be a pitchman. I can't pay $37, but I can at least give him steady work. So I'm hoping that I can turn him on plug him in to be a full-on sales manager and get my stuff not just off store shelves but into new stores. But I'm super duper excited about that. It's not so much finding people, it's finding the right people, and I can't afford to have people on staff who can't do anything. I can't afford to send out salespeople who can't sell. So a lot of times, I don't know if they do it where you're at in Kentucky, but here in Texas, we do demos in stores where you can go in and you can actually try the whiskey before you buy the whiskey. And that's my primary sales avenue. One of my primary marketing avenues is doing that. Just, would you like to try my delicious whiskey? Would you like to try? I say that like 300 times when I'm in a store sometimes. And I'll pass out, 150 samples. Because I get a success rate of about 40 to 50%. So I'll pass out 150 samples, and of those 150 samples, I'll sell 30% to 40, well, probably more closer to 40 to 50% when I actually pass out the samples. So most of the, if they try it, I have a very high likelihood that they'll buy it. I have a very high success rate when I can get them to actually try the whiskey. So, there's 2 different classes of people who do that. There's the useless ones who just look pretty and sometimes draw a crowd and sometimes pass out samples. And then there's the useless ones who don't look pretty and they just sit there and they talk on their phone or they scroll through their phone the whole time and they don't do anything. There's a very rare third class that's actually somebody who sells stuff, is successful and good at what they do. And most of those people, at least my experience, they take their $25 an hour that they get from the modeling agency. The modeling agency takes $50 an hour from the distiller or the distributor, and then they just stand there and they don't do anything. So I don't like hiring those people because I can't afford. I can not hire somebody to not sell whiskey, and it's cheaper than hiring somebody to not sell whiskey. I've even joked that I could get a cardboard cutout of me standing next to a barrel, and I could be more successful at selling whiskey than most of these girls could be. So I don't normally hire them, but I have been soliciting for brand ambassadors over the course of the last month or so, trying to get some people on staff who can be a brand ambassador and actually sell the whiskey. And the last person I had in February was moderately successful, but then she went and got a job with some roofing company. So this dude that I just picked up, I actually sold across the aisle from him at a store here in town. I liked his style. He liked my style. He reached out to me. I am going to use him as much as I possibly can, and really start to leverage his talents onto on our team. And I'm hoping that that's going to be it's going to be a successful match, and we're going to be able to hire more people and do more stuff, because the more stuff I can do, the more people I can hire, the more resources I can plug back into marketing and advertising, the more we can, turn that flywheel and keep things going. But anyway, I've got to clean these tools up before they become plaster messes. Give them some equity. I might give them some equity. But the thing is, cash talks. So money talks, and equity is good to have, but you can't pay rent with equity. And when you I mean, it's a good thing to have when you don't need money, but when you need money, when you're trying to pay rent, when you got car notes and stuff like that, yeah, you want money. So, and I'm cool with that. I've got a little equity share that I have available that I can sell off to people if I need to raise cash, and I'm not opposed to using it to staff the place up, but I don't have enough equity to be able to dangle it out in front of somebody and say, "Hey, go for it." Of course, I can always create more. I know exactly what you mean, Dustin. I'm with you. I understand, and that may be something that comes up. That may be something that comes up in a conversation next month. It's not something. I'm not going to say that it's not a note that I've written down in my notebook as an idea already. Let's move that over. But there you go. But in the meantime, I've got to go clean my tools and go eat lunch because I am starving. And I have a place to be in an hour and a half. So thank everybody for joining me, for joining in the party. Thank you for watching me texture my walls. We are very close to having we're going to put paint on the walls next. Probably this time next week, we'll have paint on the walls. And then the wainscoting will come in, and it's about 7 days after that. So by the end of this month, we're going to have a fully transformed space. The only thing left to put in would be lights. So super duper excited about that. Cheers, everybody, and thank you to all my new subscribers, all 2,800, all, I guess, 100 or so, 50, 75 in the last 2 weeks. I really do appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. And till next time, till next time. I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow night, but I'll let y'all know early in the day if it is a go. Cheers and good night.